What's up, everyone? It's the Interview Queen Alicia Toot here, and be sure to watch True Heel Heat.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat. What's up? True Heel Heat. All hands is on me. Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Hill Heat YouTube and Facebook for Rated Raw Review, episode 228, Referees Instructions, reviewing last night's July 29th, 2024 edition of WWE Raw, the SummerSlam 2024 Go Home edition of Monday Night Raw, as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the face and the ace of the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, the president of the Liv Morgan fan club, the president of the Charlotte Flair fan club, the president of the Ariana Grace fan club, the president of your favorite wrestlers fan club, Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon. How are you doing?
I think you forgot Sol Ruka. No big deal. I know it's a lot.
Sol Ruka, Kalani Jordan, Triple H, Booker of the Year fan club.
For sure.
Shawn Michaels, head chef fan club.
Fuck him. That guy blocked me. Fuck him. I'm just not. Yeah, this is so stupid that. Okay, so Twitter. I changed my profile pic. We need to review your profile when you change your profile pic. That bullshit. So now we're not streaming to Twitter all of a sudden.
I know. I was like, I peeped it. I like literally the reason why we didn't start at at 2:05 was because we always talk before we go live because we're actually friends. We're not just people that just meet each other to just talk about wrestling. We're actual friends that have to talk to each other before we go live. But also it was that I literally was like, there's something I had to ask him about because I peeped it on yesterday when we did Collision Discourse that it said that we couldn't stream onto your Twitter yesterday, and I meant to ask you that before we went live. I put it in the private chat, so if you see that alert on the side on the private chat, that was me asking because I was like, oh, your account's not premium anymore.
They take away. We momentarily remove your check mark as we review a profile picture. Oh, come on, it's just me photoshopped over Pete Rose's body. Just not a big deal. Just check. All right, you're done. I checked it already for you.
We're missing out on like your profile's been killing it for us. We've had like over 100 viewers live for like True Hill Heat. This past Sunday we had like over 100 viewers between YouTube and your Twitter alone. So your Twitter, there's like 100 people on Twitter that's like, man, I missed out on missing True Hill Heat the last 2 days because Romeo wanted to change his pick.
It was important. It was important.
It was important to change your pick to your face on Pete Rose's body.
Yes. It worked. It paid off.
Well, thank you guys for joining us live. We appreciate y'all. If you're joining us live, if you're joining us on demand, we appreciate you either way for joining us on a Tuesday for Rated Raw Review, our Monday Night Raw, a review show that we do here every Tuesday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time. We appreciate y'all. So show that appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms, especially on Twitter, because we're going to need that because we're not streaming live on Twitter. So share it over there if you're watching us on the YouTubes or on the Facebook. We appreciate y'all. Of course, if you're new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, if you're watching on Facebook or on YouTube, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you. That's the best place that you can interact with us here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. We want to hear your thoughts, your hot takes, your questions, but most of all, if you're have a comment that you want to have highlighted on screen for sure, and to make sure it is there, you press the $sign, you send a super chat donation. Those are also important to what we do here. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us. I got 2 kids. I got mouths to feed. My daughter's getting bigger. My daughter's like 4 feet tall now. She's going to be taller than me and Romeo in about a year. But yes, I need the clothes. So send those super chat donations over because I always thank y'all for that. Y'all keep the channel going in that way for sure. But we also got in the live chat our regular first commenter here, Eric Isaac, who says, hello, THH fam. Liv doing the fatal attraction thing. Damage Control is back. Wyatt 6 unmasked. And Priest pounds Gunther before the slam. I love that we're calling SummerSlam the slam.
Summerfest.
Summerfest. There's also that. Chilling with Chase says that the Summerfest is slowly approaching. We got Frantic World who says, what's up, SP3, Romeo, and Chad? We got Safed who says, sup, everyone. You got Frantic World who also says, CM Punk is washed. Walter, not Gunther. I don't know who that is. Who's Walter? Is that the guy that Romeo does watch-alongs with?
Frantic World hates using these WWE names. They're all the indie names to him.
I see that. He says Walter should win, and Jack Perry is the GOAT. Jack Perry wasn't even on last night's show. What are you talking about, sir? What are you talking about? We got Chilling with Chase says, according to Elon, Romeo, you're not a human yet.
What a joke.
He's a real boy.
Joke.
He's a real boy.
Fix your app, Elon.
Yo, for real, Elon, man, you messed it up, man. We were doing good on the YouTubes, man, through my Twitter, through Romeo's Twitter, but you gotta change and switch things up all the time. This is why Elon must be stopped. Safet says, hello, hell have no fury like a woman scorned. Indeed. We'll get into all of that. We will get into the SummerSlam Go Home show. But first, wanted to ask you, Romeo, what did you think about the crowd last night for Monday Night Raw, which took place from St. Paul, Minnesota? I thought it was so-so.
So. Well, I'll go mid, but they got a mid Raw, so how can I blame them? Well, you want them to be excited over something that's not really to be excited for?
That's always what Jimmy says when we talk about Dynamite, and he thinks the show is mid, and the crowd. I think the crowd was mid, and he's like, "Well, they got a mid show, so what do you expect from them?" It's fair. It's a fair assessment.
I agree with Jimmy's train of thought, because you don't want a crowd being phony for what, Carlito versus Jey Uso. You want them to go crazy.
I was like, yo, I don't know if you saw in our chat, our spoiler chat that we have, or was it that? I don't know which chat I commented in, but I was like, when I heard that Carlito was next, I was like, I like my Carlito. I was like, I said it like it was a steak. I was like, I like my Carlito backstage. I don't like it in the ring.
Come on.
The dude worked on his body. You were probably in the gym with him, spotting him. He worked on his body for years to get in the best shape of his life. This man's out here wrestling in sweatpants.
And a shirt. Always has a shirt on.
What are we doing? What are we doing to the poor guy?
That's the Naito school.
Yo, it really is the Naito train of thought. He's like, I'm not taking off this shirt until I get a match on pay-per-view.
Exactly.
But Monday Night Raw started as usual. No big intro. They've been doing this for a while now. The superstars arriving at the building. We see Gunther. He's driving a Chevy Suburban. So shout out to that. We see Finn Balor and JD McDonough walking in ahead of their matchup with Balor going one-on-one with Gunther in the main event. Maxine Dupree, Otis, and Akira Tozawa showing up for their matchup with the Creeds later on in the night. We see Chad Gable and Julius and Brutus Creed arriving at the building. Were you able to watch your boys over in Bloodsport on Sunday?
No, I didn't watch the full matches. I just saw the brief clips on social media, and the fact that they both had the same finish, that was cute.
Got like brothers, man. They're brothers. They got to do the sliding lariat. They watch a lot of Tomohiro Ishii.
Yeah, and they both went over. So
it's funny. There was 4 WWE talents on the Bloodsport show. Only the NXT talent was the only one that took an L.
Oh, hey, main roster talent ain't taking L's, man. Sorry, not happening. You want him on the show? Okay. Well, here's what's gonna happen.
And Charlie Dempsey, he's literally done the job in all the promotions that he's appeared in. Like he lost to and lost to the Rascals in TNA, and then he lost to Royce Isaac. Like, we love Royce Isaac here. We had him on the channel during the pandemic. One of the first wrestlers I interviewed through Zoom and stuff during the pandemic. I'm a fan of him. But the dude was 2-5 in Bloodsport for that matchup against Charlie Dempsey.
This is a special request from William Regal. Make sure my son loses every match. He needs to learn discipline.
Hi.
Say hi, Romeo.
Hi, Romeo. I got
Harlem World.
Drink for you.
She said, I got some drink for you.
She knows me well.
You got to get him water.
Water.
Okay. She's leaving. we needed a run-in before we actually start on this show. So
nice.
Let's get into any other thoughts?
But no, you heard what I said about William Regal. That's a special request from him.
He's like, my son's got to learn this business, so you have him lose to Royce Isaac with the Regal stretch too. It was like a STF, which is not far off from a Regal stretch.
Adding insult to injury.
Pretty much. We got Frantic World. He says MVP in Bloodsport is very interesting. The whole Bloodsport show, this was one of my favorite Bloodsport shows that I've watched, the one in Brooklyn, because you had WWE talent, you had AEW ROH talent, you had New Japan talent, you had MLW represented, TNA, TJPW. So all the promotions, man. Bloodsport is becoming a go-to for all wrestlers around the world. So I was digging this Bloodsport show.
I'll give you. Go ahead.
No, I was going to give you our Triller account so you can go ahead and watch it.
Okay, cool. I like WWE sending out their younger talent to go venture out elsewhere and learn some more stuff, and especially like the Creeds. That helps the Creeds too.
Yeah. They get to show their amateur background, so that's fun. We got,
you know me, I'm high on the Creeds, especially that boy Julius. Hi, my guy.
He was the more impressive of the two. He was very much akin to that style. He was like a fish swimming in some new waters. It was nice.
Yes, you love to see.
We got Chilling with Chase. They in Minnesota usually has good crowds. This one was mad weak. We'll get into it.
They're pissed off. Did you see that clip floating around on social media of them booing the WrestleMania commercial? Because that should be ours, and that's not F Las Vegas. They're pissed off.
You gotta wait 2 years for SummerSlam. Don't worry, 2-night SummerSlam. All of y'all will have chances to go. Don't worry.
I'd be pissed too.
And now it looks like London's about to skip the line.
Oof.
When do you think we're getting WrestleMania in London?
The next one that's available? I guess that's after Vegas, right?
2026, yeah. Yeah, yep. That's what me and Josh were saying, that it feels because I've been saying for months, you know this because you do this show with me, that The Rock is going to do Cody at 41 and then Roman at 42. London feels like the place to do it. You're the first like real international WrestleMania outside of like North America WrestleMania in London. That seems like a spot that Rock would want to do, Rock and Roman.
I like it, and that's why SummerSlam, the U.S. city, gets 2 nights. Like here's an additional night. Here you go. And then okay, but if you're doing the Mania in London, you do it in the daytime. Like you don't do what the UFC did this past weekend. Did you see what the UFC did?
No.
They're in London. Their card started at 10 p.m. Eastern, our time, U.S. Eastern time, which is what?
3 a.m.?
Yes, that went all the way to 6 a.m. in the morning. The crowd, there were people in the crowd sleeping by the time the main event came on. I cannot imagine being at a sporting event at 4, 5, 6 in the morning. I cannot imagine.
That's insane.
Right,
that's insane. I like heard scuttlebutts about it and stuff, and I know we did. You, of course, you doing a great job hosting our watch along over on the True Hill Heat Sports and Entertainment channel. But I did not know it was in London. That's insane, yo.
Imagine going to that and then like it finishes and like, all right, let's go get fucking breakfast. What the hell? Go get some pancakes.
Let's go to IHOP.
Whatever they got over there. I don't even know what they got over there.
Yeah, I don't think they have an IHOP here. But let's talk about Monday Night Raw, which was in St. Paul, Minnesota, not London. So it started at 8 p.m. Eastern. Seth Rollins came out to kick off the show. He is here to give his referee instructions for this Saturday's SummerSlam matchup between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Seth Rollins came out wearing a black and white striped shirt with puffy sleeves and zebra print shoes with leather pants. Rollins called out the 2 morons who will be facing at SummerSlam with him as a special guest referee, which of course is CM Punk, who came out to a big pop from the crowd here in St. Paul, Minnesota. He deliberately came face-to-face with Rollins upon hitting the ring. We then had Drew McIntyre He came out second. Rollins got on the mic and he reminded us that these two cannot touch each other or else their SummerSlam matchup was off. And he also told them that this comes directly from Adam Pearce. They also couldn't lay a finger on him as the referee. This led to CM Punk. I'm sorry, he was like a petulant child in this whole segment. He goes out of the ring, rolls out of the ring. I was just like, oh my God, none of these people are likable. He rolls out of the ring upon hearing this. McIntyre told him he could wait until Saturday, that CM Punk doesn't have to be scared, and he invited him back into the ring. Punk says that he wasn't worried about what McIntyre or Rollins might do. He was worried what he might do if he stayed in the ring. Rollins threatened to return his referee shirt to Adam Pearce and call the whole thing off. He was like, I wasn't asked to do this. I volunteered because you two morons can't have any of the referees referee this matchup because none of them want to, because you keep putting your hands on referees. But he knew everyone wanted this matchup, and he knows that Punk wants to give the fans what they wanted, so he demanded Punk get back into the ring. Punk did eventually get back into the ring. He called Rollins a boot-licking office boy. What the fuck does that make you? McIntyre told Rollins that Punk was a cancer, poisoning the minds of everyone, including the young talent in NXT. He's planting a seed, and he was like, me and you, we don't have a personal issue. He was like, we have a professional rivalry. We both want to be the best, and we both know he is the real enemy. Rollins wanted them to both shut up so he could give his instructions. He says, if there's anyone that hates CM Punk as much or more than Drew McIntyre, it is him. But also, if there's anyone that hates Drew as much as CM Punk or more than CM Punk, it is also him. So he wanted to give his instructions for their violent masterpiece that will go down on Saturday. He says there is only one rule at SummerSlam, that Rollins was in charge. Rollins was the law. He could count to 3 when he wanted to. They could only tap out when he said so. A count out, who knows? I could be counting to 10, to 20, to 1,000,000. Disqualifications, let's just say that's referee discretions. And if they didn't listen to him, he would put their head in the dirt. Punk hoped Rollins would referee better than he dressed. And he called Rollins a liar for claiming that he would call it down the middle. He knows that he won't do that. And Punk said he just wanted to make sure that he didn't get screwed and didn't want anyone's help. He would not want Rollins' help to get the victory over McIntyre. McIntyre reminded Punk that he was the one he should be worried about. McIntyre complained he compared him to Charles Manson, poisoning everyone's mind. He says, I can't even go to the grocery store without hearing his name chanted by all of these fans. It was like he was asking the fans to chant CM Punk, but this St. Paul crowd was just like, nah, son, nah, bruh. McIntyre can't even go to the store without hearing Punk's name. McIntyre said that he injured Punk at Royal Rumble, and he wasn't even trying to. McIntyre would violently assault Punk on Saturday. McIntyre said that Rollins might hate them, but he had the compassion in his soul. McIntyre wouldn't stop until Punk's heart stopped. McIntyre looks forward to getting paid a large sum of money because they're in a stadium for something that he'd gladly do for free. Meanwhile, CM Punk responds and says that he was gone for 10 years and they've been chanting his name and they're still chanting his name. And he says that they sang Rollins' song, they chant his name, which made McIntyre the third wheel in all of this. Punk said the one positive of PDS is the Punk, he calls it the Punk derangement syndrome. He says was that they get to be in his orbit. They get to breathe the rare air he produces. Punk hoped McIntyre enjoyed the last 6 months being in his orbit because hurting him was the best thing that's happened to his career. And also the worst thing that happened to his career was hurting him as well. Punk called McIntyre tall, big, and mean, but he was also stupid. He dumbed himself out of that. He dumbed himself out of the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. Punk may be his enemy, but he wasn't his worst one. That would be him. Punk was the best in the world. He wasn't as big, strong, or even as fast as McIntyre, but he had heart. I was like, oh God, I hate pandering CM Punk. He also had the people chanting his name, and they finally chanted his name after like 3 requests.
God, how many times he said that in this promo? Jeez. He said it 5 times.
They finally did it on the 5th time. Punk wondered what McIntyre had, and McIntyre just pulls out the bracelet of Punk's family, which was a great response. Punk gets in his face, but of course he couldn't touch him. They exchange words off the mic as CM Punk's music plays, and the segment ends there. Now, I thought this was a good segment. I did watch it back this morning because I was a little bit tired. It's like 1 a.m. when the segment started where I'm at. So I watched it back this morning, and I didn't like it as much. I was like, the crowd seemed off from the very beginning of the show. They weren't responding when literally like the stars here were setting it up. And the main thing, and this is something that also Jimmy McIntyre said to me as well, none of these people came off as likable. None of them. I was like, who's the baby face here? Because to me, Drew McIntyre is the only one kind of playing up a character. Seth is more of like himself turned up to 10. Punk is more of himself than he's ever been as like a baby face who's literally trying to make sure that the fans still love him. And McIntyre playing this character, he came off the most likable to me, even though he's not supposed to be likable. He came off the most likable because he has an entertaining character. That's what he did more than Punk and Seth. So this was fine. Even I would go as far as to say it was solid, but it wasn't as good on the second viewing as I felt in the moment because it's no denying all 3 guys are bona fide main event stars and they feel like stars interacting with one another. But I've seen better segments, like the one in Chicago before WrestleMania between these 3 was excellent. One of the best segments of the year because it felt like real tension between everyone involved. This one didn't have that. It felt kind of devoid of the emotion and the tension that was there in Chicago before WrestleMania. And I've seen better segments and better overall angles and promos between all 3 of these guys before. So this felt a little off, especially for a go-home segment. I don't know what you thought, but let me know. What did you think?
I enjoyed the segment, but it was particularly enjoyable because of 2 people only, and that was Seth and Drew. I thought they were the, stars of the segment, and Punk was just kind of like there. Like that wasn't, Punk didn't match up to the levels of Seth and Drew, and like Seth and Drew, like they weren't even like at crazy levels that they're capable of, and still Punk could have reached that. You know what I mean? But I Drew's still the heel in all this because at the end he brings out the bracelet to remind you, and then he can't be touched, so he knows he's invincible, and Punk can't do anything about it. So you're supposed to cheer for Punk. You want Punk to win on a Saturday and get that bracelet back, and stick it to Drew. I guess that's how you're supposed to feel. Yeah. But Drew is doing fantastic all the time on the mic. I mean, this was good stuff from him again. So he's killing it. And Seth, I thought Seth was really good with his referee instructions, like DQs. We'll see. I can count to 10. I can count to 20. Who knows? I'll count to 1,000,000. Whatever. I thought Seth was funny here. And Seth, I didn't like Seth. That's like seeing the bride in a gown before the wedding. Like, save it for Saturday. But apparently, he said on social media, "It's like I got more." Well, what? That wasn't it. What? Like that's pretty goofy. The way Chase says he was spending something more goofy. You got that picture again? That was goofy. That's not goofy. That's goofy as fuck. Shit.
I mean, it was goofy with the sleeves and everything, but it's
More
gonna be
goofy.
even more
What is it gonna
goofy.
be?
I don't know. But we shall see on Saturday. It just felt like I think that's where I was at on the second viewing of this. Is it was like everything was building to Punk's response, and then Punk didn't have the same level as even
That's what it
Seth
is.
and Drew. Yeah.
That's what it
Like
is.
this was his big moment to get the one up, the final line on both Seth and Drew, and it just fell flat.
I remember Punk always has to have the final line.
Yeah. So
yeah, and it wasn't good.
Safet says, I like the promo by both Drew and CM Punk. So maybe we're in the minority here. I know we're not in the minority when it comes to our good friend Vala B, though. Thank you, Vala B, for a super chat donation. We appreciate your support. As always, one of the OGs in the community. He says that 30 seconds of dead air in this promo before Chick-fil-A demanded the crowd glazed him was fucking hilarious. Yo, that was kind of awkward. There was like that awkward silence after Drew's promo, and then Punk thought that the fans would like be cheering his name, and it was just like 30 seconds of dead air because the crowd literally was like into the promo, and then they just went down to almost complete silence.
Yeah, I was waiting for Punk to say like line, like he forgot his line or something.
Or he should have done like The Rock. He should have had it on his wrist.
Oh.
Should have had it on his wrist just in case. Josh, thank you once again, Wallaby. He says, Josh says, CM Punk WWE return promos, Michael Jordan on the Wizards. Oh, damn. That's tough. That's tough.
Well, every now and then Michael Jordan would go off on the Wizards every now and then. So I've enjoyed a few Punk promos, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, like I said, the one in Chicago was fantastic.
But that's probably his worst one last night, I would say.
Yeah, because even in the exchanges, like we have admitted with Drew, where Drew has kind of won a lot of the promo offs, the promo exchanges, and Seth has won 2 promo exchanges against Punk in my eyes. Those he still was at like a 7.5. This was like 5. This was mid CM Punk.
But let me tell you something about this freaking match on Saturday. Listen, we're excited for it. I think most people are excited for it. CM Punk has to get through this match unscathed. He cannot get hurt again. That you'd have to contemplate retirement if you get hurt again on Saturday. You'd have to contemplate just stop, because he is so fragile, so delicate. This is so fascinating to me to watch. Just to see CM Punk get through this match.
I'm fascinated by it also with the fact of the news that WWE wants to renegotiate his deal. If I'm WWE, I would wait until the match for renegotiation. I would wait till he has a one-on-one singles match on a premium live event before I'm renegotiating for a longer deal.
I'd honestly wait till the feud is over to get through Hell in a Cell.
That's also true. Also true. We do have another super chat donation. Next one by Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, as always, supporting us here. He says Punk went on First Take today wearing a 3-piece suit. Next thing you know, he'll be clean shaven like a New York Yankee. Philip won't fool me.
I gotta watch that. I gotta check that out. Well, I did dressed up in a suit before. He did it at the Hall of Fame.
I did hear that Jeremy we was doing FMC on Fightful Overbook, and he's like he had to end the show at 11:30 because he had to see Punk on ESPN. So I guess he was on First Take. I wonder if he talked about just hockey or did he talk about SummerSlam?
They don't talk hockey on First Take, so
yeah, exactly.
They don't.
He's the one that would get them to talk about hockey because he's a big hockey fan.
You'd be lucky if they talk baseball. Shit.
Valabi says the fact. Thank you again, Chuck Berries. Valabi says the fact that more people are praying that he doesn't get hurt is wild. He was like, "I'm not praying though."
I don't blame you. You don't gotta pray for Punk. Hashtag pray for Punk.
I pray for this, and it happened.
I don't want to see him get hurt.
No,
I don't want to see him get hurt. I want him to have a long, lengthy feud with this Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, because it will be fun. But I am concerned. Like, my concern is through the roof. I don't have faith in him to stay healthy over a long period of time at all.
But would you say that Punk and Drew have had WWE's feud of the year?
100%.
That's fair. That's rare. I mean, it's been very entertaining. It's drawn a lot of great numbers, whether it be with TV ratings, the merchandise that each other have made in regards to this, the social media stuff with the views, as well as the tweet, the Jack Perry tweet, which went wild for a bit before Drew deleted it. So it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. I would say it's either this or Cody versus the Bloodline for feud of the year. WWE feud.
No, I'm gonna go with Drew and Punk. I think it's helped out Drew tremendously. It's elevated Drew.
That's true. Backstage, we go to the Judgment Day's clubhouse, and it's all torn apart. Carlito was particularly upset that the PS5 was being destroyed. Dominic Mysterio played dumb and wondered who could have done this. And of course, Rhea Ripley's like, it was obviously Liv Morgan.
Rhea, oh my God. Oh my, what an outfit. Woo! Woo! Sorry. I thought I was muted.
I don't blame you, sir. But Rhea Ripley says that Liv will get hers as Carlito walks off after being very upset that his
Liv last week.
His PS5 was destroyed. Sad time.
Very.
We come back after break to the Judgment Day clubhouse, and Damian Priest finally joins them, and he says, "Wepa, what happened here?" He says, "Live again." He offered then to be in Finn Balor's corner tonight as he's going one-on-one with Gunther. Balor declined. He wanted Priest to focus on SummerSlam, and he would deal with Gunther tonight. Balor trusted them to take care of Sami Zayn and Jey Uso, though. Rhea and Priest were not into that idea, but then Balor says, "What about the other three take care of things here?" Dom volunteered Carlito to face Sami Zayn. He's like, "How about you take care of Sami Zayn?" And Carlito says, "Yeah, I'll go talk to Adam Pearce." Judgment Day were surprised when Carlito willingly left to get the match made, and they would be even more surprised a bit later. This has been like the theme of Monday Night Raw over the last couple of weeks. A lot of Judgment Day backstage segments, and this was the same thing on tonight. What did you think about these first two segments here?
I like it all the time, man. I like the Judgment Day segments all the time. And they always find new stuff to do with Liv and Rhea weekly, which is, I can't imagine it's not easy brainstorming this stuff. Oh, how do we make it different this week? They've done a good job with that. Liv just trashing the freaking Judgment Day den, which, you and I both know, staged, rigged. Dom's probably helping her here. Let me toss that. Boom. Finn's probably in on it too.
He probably opened the door for her. Like, here, go in.
Yeah.
Be back. Yeah. I'll be back. I'll act surprised. Go do your thing.
Finn's in on it too. I'm telling you, Finn's in on it.
They're all in on it. This is a big conspiracy against our mommy.
I don't know.
Rhea Ripley. Poor mommy.
I don't know if I would trust JD with this information. If I was Finn, I'd keep it to myself. Just, it's better you don't know.
Jay says Punk's body is made on hopes and dreams.
Damn.
And Malabi says Drew's fists are made of reality.
Nice. Wow, that's nice, Allie.
That's great. Big Man Dog says Punk is right that they are orbiting him. Seth and Drew couldn't even main event WrestleMania without him. They didn't main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They did. So
yeah.
We got Big Man Dogs who says, or rather Drew, Seth jumped on another bandwagon. Yeah, Seth main evented a WrestleMania because he went on the other hot feud. The only stars bigger than Punk. And there are stars bigger than Punk, Big Man Dogs. I know you're a big Punk fan, but you also have a Roman Reigns photo in your profile pic. So you know who's a bigger star.
I can't wait. Woo, I can't wait till we hear that music on Saturday, baby. Woo! Woo! It's gonna be a moment.
I love the fact that more people are looking forward to that than the actual Cody versus Solo matchup.
Because when it's so obvious what's gonna happen, it's so obvious. But you know, you hope Solo gets carried to a good match. He delivers, but it's all about what happens after. Absolutely.
Yeah. Chilling with Jay says we all know Cody versus Bloodline is just the appetizer for the real feud. Roman versus that fraudulent chief. There you go.
True that.
This is true.
Feud of the fall.
Feud of the fall. Feud of the last half of the year.
Yeah, much more than that. Probably feud until probably fucking Royal Rumble shit. I don't know.
Valavista is because Solo isn't on the level, bro. I mean, they've done a good job with Solo's character. I'll give them that.
But that plays into it. Like he's not supposed to be ready, but he thinks he's ready. It plays into the whole thing.
Yeah. King Potato says Punk has completely lost his touch. That promo segment he had with Drew and Seth was so bad. I was dying laughing. You're a big giant dummy.
Damn. Okay.
I feel like we're gonna get good Punk when he turns heel.
You're gonna get vintage Punk. Vintage.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's like Punk very much is feeling like MJF as a babyface.
I'd say MJF was much better. I don't think it's close.
I don't know. They feel on the same level to me. They feel like Steph Curry playing the small forward position instead of point guard. His rating is going down if you put him at small forward, and that's what it happens to MJF and Punk.
Listen. I think MJF was a better babyface than Punk is right now.
Yeah, that's right. We get our first matchup, which is the Creed brothers, the aforementioned Creeds, Julius and Brutus Creed, going up against Otis and Akira Tozawa of the Alpha Academy, with Maxine Dupree in their corner, Chad Gable in the corner of the Creeds. Michael Cole mentioning that the Creeds participated at Bloodsport over the weekend, picking up victories there.
That was weird.
It was. I was like, they've mentioned Bloodsport more times than they mentioned EO and Marigold. So I'll give them that. Otis made a hot tag after the commercial break. He gave Julius the caterpillar. He punched Gable off the apron. That's the first real physicality outside of a push that he's given to Chad Gable. So there you have it. But Otis was over here once again. He's another native of St. Paul, Minnesota. Back-to-back weeks. I think he lived in Green Bay, and then he now has a place in St. Paul. So he had back-to-back weeks of being in home territory.
Was Gable from there too?
I think so. But it was due to that distraction from Gable that the Creeds were able to cut him off as he went for a Vader bomb. They hit a double team back suplex off the middle rope and get the 1-2-3. The crowd liked Otis, but they went silent at the pin. The Creeds picking up their first victory under Chad Gable's advisement. Gable and the Creeds then attacked Otis post-match. Gable put him in an ankle lock until Maxine Dupree leaped up on his back. Gable got her off and started yelling in her face, which led to Maxine slapping him across the face. She put her hands up. She put her hands up like she was Mrs. Dad, which popped me, to defend herself from Gable and the Creeds. But then the lights went out. The crowd started buzzing as they knew what time it was. The music of the Wyatt 6 hit as the three male members outside of Uncle Howdy made their way down to the ring. They got up on the apron, staring down with Chad Gable and the Creeds, and they took off their masks, unmasking for the first time to reveal Eric Rowan as Ramblin' Rabbit, Joe Gacy as Huskus the Pig, and Dexter Loomis with dreadlocks as Mercy the Buzzard.
Gable got it right. He narrowed it down to these guys, and he got it right.
He got it right after the unmasked, though, to be fair. The crowd chanted holy shit at this. Gable turned around to leave when out of nowhere, and this is a great picture that they had on WWE's website, Nikki Cross hit a Luthez press off the top rope onto Chad Gable. She was referred by Cole as Sister Abigail, which was a nice touch. Loomis and Gacy dropped the Creeds with big Uranagis at the same time, and then Eric Rowan hit a running crossbody. We get the Wyatt Six staring down as Chad Gable made his way up the ramp, and he was approached by Uncle Howdy. He's just started laughing at Gable as Gable ran off. Later in the show, we had Chad Gable approach Adam Pearce with the Creeds, and he let him know that it was Eric Rowan, Joe Gacy, and Dexter Loomis. He let him know who the members of the Wyatt Six were, and Adam Pearce just responds, "Oh yeah, they have a contract." Like, what? These murderers have a contract?
Right.
And he says that Gable says that he wants a match with them next week here on Raw, which Adam Pearce makes official. It will be on Sci-Fi next week. The Wyatt Six making their in-ring debut against Chad Gable and the Creeds. What did you think about everything that went down with the Wyatt Six and Gable and the Creeds?
You guys missed it. You couldn't see it, but Harlem comes in. She gives her the biggest, sweetest hug. It was so cute. Aww. And now I don't know what she's doing now. But
she's trying to reach for the thing she dropped. You want to give me another hug so the people can see?
Aww.
I love you. You said enjoy.
Enjoy loving me, Dad. But the match, is what it is. I thought the ending was terrible. Did you notice Tozawa?
Just in there.
Oh, you can't do that, Tozawa. You gotta at least pretend you're like tired, crawling, trying to break the pin up. You can't just lay there and watch the 3 count. It was in clear view of the camera too. It was so bad.
It was right on camera.
Yeah,
like it was right on camera. That was so bad. I was like, what the fuck was Tozawa doing?
That can't happen. Somebody's gotta have a word with him. And the aftermath, you know the Wyatt Six are coming out every time you see these guys on screen. The unmasking. I like the unmasking. I think they look better if they wrestle like this as they are instead of with a mask on. It's less cartoonish. Just leave the mask on for the entrance. Dexter Loomis has a very, very interesting look. I had the same thoughts as Vala B. I'm going to highlight his comments here. He looks just like Kazarni. Remember Kazarni? Do you remember this guy? Oh, I
do remember Kazarni. Kazarni, yes.
He looks just like him. No, you don't want to have his career now. You don't want to have that. So good luck to Dexter Loomis overcoming those odds. And then as for the rest, I like the guys doing the double Uranagi as an ode to Bray Wyatt. That was one of Bray Wyatt's favorite moves. So that's cool.
Yeah.
And they'll be in action next week for the first time. It's only fitting that this freaking group is on Sci-Fi for their debut. It's only fitting. So
yeah, it does make sense. It does make sense that they save the unmasking and the debut for when they're on Sci-Fi.
Yeah. And I looked it up. Chad Gable is from Minnesota, so I'm surprised he didn't get a match last night.
Well, he was involved in a big angle on the show, so
yeah,
that also makes sense. But yes, good stuff from the Wyatt Six here. But
do you agree with me about the unmasking? And it looks better that way when they wrestle.
Yeah, 100%. 100% agree. Yeah, that's the way to do it with them. So yeah. Hold on one second. You could talk or highlight the chat.
I'll read some comments here.
Because Harlem done spill something in here.
So. Oh, Harlem. Valaby with the super chat. Thank you so much. Okay, I'll pay that Harlem tax. It's so funny to me that this match is on Sci-Fi. That WWE CW flashbacks. Agreed. We had the same exact thought. What is your favorite WWE CW memory? Anybody? For me, what would I say? It's absolutely Batista versus Big Show at the Hammerstein Ballroom. Do you remember that clusterfuck, that mess? Sometimes when I'm bored, I just pop that baby on. If I want a good laugh, I just pop that baby on.
I was there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There. I remember seeing you in the crowd. Yes.
Yeah.
That is whenever when I need a good laugh, I'll put that on. And I'm like, it's so funny, man. It's one of the worst things of all time, but it's one of the best things of all time to me. Let's see what else we got here. Eric Isaac asks, will Ivy Nile join Chad in the Creeds and face Sister Abigail in the future? I think she should. I think she should absolutely join them. But Sister Abigail, there was something on the show. I'm sure when SP3 mentions it later. Oh, we'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. That Sister Abigail may be coming for in particular. Alex Powell says Pierce is a horrible boss. Bill Lumberg is a better boss than him. I don't know who that is. Big Man Dogs, he looks like a Pirates of the Caribbean extra. I agree. Although I've never seen it. Never seen that movie. Sorry.
We need to get you a t-shirt that says never seen it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And then I'll never wear it.
we're gonna get you to design it, and then we'll send it to For Your Wear so people can get the Romeo never seen it shirt.
What about you, SP3? What's your favorite WWE CW memory?
Does the second one night stand count? Since that's the start of it,
yeah.
You can't count the first one night stand because that was an actual kind of tribute show. But the second one counts. That was like the peak of it for me because they immediately ruined it with the first episode that has the zombie. I mean, the zombie for comedy. Yeah, the first episode they immediately bury it with the zombie coming out because it's on sci-fi and stuff. So yeah, not good times. But yes, thank you for the Harlem Tax, Vala B. We appreciate that. Sorry, I had to do a break. We got Chinese food, and I think we have like the sauce. And I think while I was describing the thing, she drops it on the floor, and the carpet that's in this room is completely ruined now. So yeah,
jeez.
So I had to clean that up and then wash my hands. So
and that's just one toddler, folks.
Yes, I said it on FFC this morning. I was like, my son is just like so good. He has. We gave him a phone. He just chills on his phone, or he can actually watch a movie without being on his phone. And then there's Harlem,
kid watches more movies than me,
like the Tasmanian Devil. Yeah, he probably does. But yes, going back to Monday Night Raw. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the Wyatt Six, because it's really going to be first impressions go a long way. And we're going to have to see what happens when the bell rings next week.
So they'll be in the ring with the Creeds, and who are they going to be in the ring with? No, they're going to be in the ring with
Gable. Gable and the Creeds
and Gable. Well, you can't have a good match with those three. You're cooked.
Pretty much.
And I don't think it's going to be that long a match. I think they're going to put them over a bit strongly here. So we'll see.
We do have another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Will Chisholm. He says he looks like a Rob Zombie fan.
I gotta say, I think he's got the best look out of all of them. Loomis, I like it.
Might be. Did we go backstage once again? Dom and Rhea were annoyed to learn that Carlito actually got Dom booked in a matchup against Zayn. Ripley said, well, Carlito, then you could take out Jay in a matchup instead. Carlito said, yeah. He says, I just need baby oil. Ripley told him that he have to face Jay alone tonight. So he said, all right, guess so. Carlito,
you noticing this garbage? This garbage of Rhea is always looking out for Jay. Do you notice this garbage? Like, she's not slick with it. I hope the rest of you are noticing too. And if not, I'm here to point it out. We don't need the Judgment Day at ringside to bother Jay. You're gonna go at it alone. It's all for Jay.
Yep.
It's gonna be revealed that Dom is with Liv secretly. Well, not so secretly. It's gonna be revealed. And then Rhea's not gonna feel that all that heartbroken about it because she's been seeing Jay on the side.
It's gonna be like one of those Jerry Springer episodes
Yeah.
where the girl's getting cheated on, and then she
Yeah.
reveals, "Well, I've been cheating on you back the whole time."
Guess what, motherfucker? Exactly. That is gonna happen. And then Dom's gonna be so mad. Oh, he's gonna be so mad. Then Liv's gonna look at him like, really?
Why are you so mad? We good. But next up, we had Big Beefy Ben slapping meat. Bronson Reed going one-on-one with Sheamus. Sheamus early on hits a big flying clothesline to the outside, but Reed gave him a back body drop onto the announce table. They went to the break after like 90 seconds of this matchup. Sheamus fought back, though, after commercial break, hits a clothesline, a running knee for 2. Sheamus missed flying clothesline, and Reed hits him with a big DVD for 2. Sheamus hits a crazy-looking white noise off the middle rope for a near fall. He then hits the 16 beats of the Bowery until the referee yanks him off. Reed is basically stuck with his leg in the ropes, which allows Pete Dunne to get onto the apron and hit Sheamus with the shillelagh as he was setting up for the bro kick. This allows Reed to come off the top rope with the tsunami for the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory here. Bronson Reed gets a bit of revenge after Sheamus beat him in one-on-one action about 3 weeks ago. So they're trading off wins. No one gets over. Good match. Good match.
Yeah, for what it was, that white noise was crazy, like you said. I would like to put a microphone in Pete Dunne's hands and let him spit. I would like him to get that one segment to air his grievances.
Because we still don't know why he turned on Sheamus.
In ring, preferably. Let him cook. Let's see what he's got. Throw him in the deep water. He doesn't really get to talk all that much in his WWE time at all.
This is true.
This guy was once labeled to act like a dog. Remember?
Scrappy Doo, yes. Yeah. The Scrappy Doo days. They aired a pre-tape with a pre-tape Priest promo. He said that Gunther didn't understand his upbringing. Gunther was brought up with "here you goes." If you needed the best training facility and a training team, here you go. A group of people to tell you how great he is, here you go. Gunther didn't have what couldn't be given to him. He didn't have heart. Gunther may call him street trash, but to Priest, that translated to Puerto Rican badass to him. Gunther was a product of European ingenuity, and that translated to "you're an asshole." The ring would become the street at SummerSlam, and Gunther was going to get mugged. He was robbing Gunther of the idea that he could take the title from him, and Priest fought for everything he got, and he was willing to die for everything he had. Welcome to my neighborhood. Probably the best Damian Priest promo I've heard with him as the World Heavyweight Champion.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. And still, that's the words you're going to hear on Saturday, folks. And still, my Boricua champion. El Campeon. Killed it. Killed it.
This promo even had Jimmy convinced. Jimmy was like, I'm losing hope that Gunther's going to win on Saturday. But the ending of the show should put faith back into us.
Swerve. A little swerve. Throw you off the trail.
And
this match is gonna be good, man. On Saturday, this match is gonna be good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be probably Priest's best as World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, I'm out.
I do like that they've made this a battle of class instead of just two guys going for the title, where Priest is still trying to be built up as a main eventer. Gunther, through the Intercontinental title reign, already feels like a main eventer, but they're still trying to prop up and build up Priest. But they've given him a nice underdog feel to him with the class differences between the two.
100%, and I think it's going to pay off on Saturday. I think the crowd's going to be behind Priest. And listen, we went into this feud wondering how they're going to make something out of this with the two of them. and I think they delivered on everything we could imagine.
Yeah, they've done a good job.
Overdid expectations.
Yeah. And speaking of people thinking they're slick, WWE thinks they're slick. AEW goes out of their way to announce that Collision on Saturday will start at 5 p.m. Eastern time, so they don't go head-to-head with SummerSlam. And what does WWE do? They announce a 3-hour pre-show on Saturday, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Really? And the show starts at 7?
Yeah.
There's for WrestleMania, maybe you can do a 3-hour pre-show. I think that's okay. SummerSlam, I think you need to have at least 2 nights of SummerSlam before you even start thinking about that. At least. You're not there yet. You don't need 3 hours to talk about this show that's gonna be about 3 hours itself. You don't. You don't.
Only gonna have 2 hours of wrestling.
So Collision starts at 5.
Yeah.
And let me say something for AEW, or I guess it's the network's decision. I don't know whose decision it was. Or maybe AEW convinced the network.
It's mutual.
It's like we're better off, going on earlier. I 100% agree. Good job on that. Like now you give me something to watch going into SummerSlam. So that's
facts.
Nice.
That's what I've already been making my plan for Saturday is to watch Collision at 5 and then nicely turn over to the WWE Network for SummerSlam.
There you go. And 4 to 5 hours of wrestling. So
yeah.
But yeah, WWE 3-hour pre-show. The fuck. Listen, I know you like to play the video packages. You like to do a couple of backstage segments. You don't need 3 hours for that at all.
And you're probably going to upload the CM Punk sit-down interview by itself on YouTube. So I don't need to watch the pre-show to figure out when that's going to air.
What sit-down interview?
Punk did a sit-down interview with Michael Cole, similar to the one Seth did ahead of Money in the Bank.
Okay.
But next up, we got another promo. Braun Breaker with a pre-tape promo. He said
one of my guys.
Sami Zayn is at the top of his profession. Stand-up comedy. Braun admitted to taking him lightly at Money in the Bank because he didn't want to put his hands on a comment. The difference between them was that Zayn has already accepted that he would lose at SummerSlam. There was nowhere to run, and Zayn was already preparing for a life after WWE. They even promote his comedy show on Raw. While Zayn did that, Braun was training in the gym like a dog. That would be on full display on Saturday when the joke would be on Zayn and the Intercontinental Championship would be on Braun. I thought this was a good promo by Braun Breaker. Not his best, but he came off a lot less Scott Steiner and kind of was talking in his own voice.
This was funny. This was comedy Braun. I loved it.
This was Wolf Dog's Braun here.
Great job. Great job with the pre-tape. Loved it.
Yeah. We got in the chat, Vala B says 3-hour pre-show with no matches. That's the part that is like, y'all are wild for that. Y'all are wild for that.
Yep. Doubt it. Highly doubt it.
I think Harlem likes Sami Zayn as a comedian. She laughs when she sees him. I don't know if that counts. Jey Uso going one-on-one with Romeo's cousin Carlito.
Right.
Carlito got the heat during the early commercial break after shoving Jey into the ring post. Jey fought back with some strikes to the sound of yeet. Carlito hit a nice little spine buster for a 2. Decided to eat some apple in the middle of a wrestling match for no apparent reason.
He
even argued with the referee over it, which allowed Jey to get a schoolboy, only getting a 2 count. Then he ran off the ropes. Carlito misses a clothesline, and he hits him with one of the worst spears in human history. Jey gets the win, though, with the 1-2-3 as Carlito spits out the apple as he gets speared. Jey should have won this one a lot quicker than he did, in my opinion. But
that wasn't quick?
No, not to me. It went nearly 8 minutes.
But it was a commercial, right?
Yeah, we only saw 5 minutes of it. You get this shit done in 3.
Got 3 hours to fill, man. Yeah,
What
not
did
much
you
to say
think?
here. Not much to say here. It's a
This was
house show match.
Nothing match. Yeah, nothing match. Not even a house.
No
show
offense,
match.
cousin.
This is a main event match, and
Oh,
not. I don't mean last match of the night. I mean
right.
WWE
Yeah, that's definitely not what
main
you meant.
event. Jackie Redmond is backstage interviewing Zelina Vega and asks about her injured
Puerto Ricans
arm.
on this show. I get my sleeve back. I took it off because Carlito lost. Pissed me off. Back on.
Zelina's arm is still in a sling. Vega felt good, but was lucky to have Lyra Valkyria and Kaden Carter and Katana Chance at her side last week. She picked up the win and reminded everyone she was a threat. This leads to Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark with new hair. She's got more of a reddish hair with a blonde streak now. They showed up and mocked her for thinking that she was a threat. They teamed up on her, which led to them putting her arm against the door frame here, and Shayna Baszler kicking at her arm, stomping on it right against the door. Officials appeared to check on Vega, and when we came back from commercial break, Valkyria, Carter, and Chance checked on her as well. So it seems like Zelina re-injured her arm.
I love Zelina. She had zero business winning with a hurt arm last week. So this was her receipt. Make this new group look strong. She has to be protected. She has to look the strongest of them all. She needs to go back to that Shayna badass where she barely loses and she's just whooping everybody like the dolls they are.
Yeah, I agree with you. NXT will also be on Sci-Fi tomorrow. Apparently, USA's got the Olympics. My bad. I was wondering what's going on. Joe Hendry, they promoted him with his concert on tonight's show. Then they also showed clips from the Japan tour, and then Kathy Kelly interviewed The Miz, who announced that he would be the host for SummerSlam in his house of Cleveland. R-Truth showed up at the wrong time and was excited to hear that they brought back In Your House. Miz tried to explain the situation as clearly as possible, but Truth was too dense to understand. He even asked if he's gonna bring some hors d'oeuvres if he's the host, and he says there won't be hors d'oeuvres. I'm not that type of host. He does the "what you talking about, Willis" line. As he leaves, and Kathy Kelly's disappointed to hear there won't be hors d'oeuvres. He was like, "Who wants hors d'oeuvres?" And Truth comes back in and says, "I do."
R-Truth lost it. R-Truth is off his game. It's not the same as he was, the same comedic figure that he was, that we love so many times on this review here. Carlito is taking his place. Carlito is now the funniest guy on Monday Night Raw. And The Miz for tag team champ to host of SummerSlam. You got a 3-hour pre-show. Can The Miz get one match? Get somebody, please. Come on, man.
It's like, man, this Awesome Truth act bombed that bad. It bombed that bad. He can't even get a match in Cleveland. He's got to be the host.
Yeah. Well, at least again, payday.
At least it's a payday. Karrion Kross cuts a pre-match promo.
Why did I put my sleeve away?
There you go. Another Puerto Rican for you. He cut a pre-match promo saying that he heard Kofi Kingston wasn't there tonight because he re-injured himself on the Japan tour. He didn't believe that and thought that Kingston didn't show up because he wasn't in the spotlight. He also figured Kingston wasn't there because he doesn't want to be in this hellhole of Minnesota. Kross offered Xavier Woods a spot in the Final Testament. Kross wanted Woods to tell the kids at home that the power of positivity was always a lie. He also wanted Woods to tell that one-armed bastard Kingston that he should have retired after he lost the WWE Championship in 6 seconds. Oof. Woods decked him in the face. The referee thought that was the perfect time to ring the bell for this matchup. Woods took control with an early break but Kross was able to reverse things and trip him up off the ropes. Woods made a comeback, but Akam gave him a cheap shot behind the referee's back. Woods fought back anyway and took Akam out with a big dive. He avoided a charge by Rizard and sent him into the ring post. However, Cross was able to dodge was diving elbow attempt, and then he picks him up and hits the final prayer for the 1-2-3. This feud sucks. I said a month ago that I was into the feud, but they literally have not progressed from that month ago. This shit started in June. In fucking June. It is now going to be August, and we're still in chapter 1 of this lame-ass feud.
It could use a little escalating. Is like this Kofi injury a shoot?
No, because he wrestled on the Japan tour. He did not re-injure himself. They're just not ready to bring him back.
Well, you got to admit, though, that was a good Cross promo, wasn't it? The little time he got? Yeah. That was good heel shit. But yes, you're right. They need to escalate something. But at least I'm glad that Cross won, though, at least. Like, but still, you got to escalate something. You got to go to the next step. What is the next step? Is it next time you wrestle, if you lose, you have to join the final tournament? Is that it? Do something.
I wouldn't mind that. At least it's something. Because
I agree with you. But I will also say, keep giving Cross mic time. That was good. I like
Just
it.
have him talk. I don't need to see him wrestle.
Why is Paul Ellering there? What does he even do?
You got Paul Ellering in this group, and he never talks. What?
He
What
hasn't talked once.
What is he there for? We got another super chat.
Let him feel like he's contributing.
We got another super chat donation from Will Chisholm. Thank you so much, Will. Always appreciate that support that you give us here. He says, I bet Nick Khan is like, when Miz deal is up, we not bringing him back. Oh, shit. You think Miz is done? Nah, I think Miz does so much kind of like PR, and he's like an ambassador for WWE. So I think
they love him there. They love him there. There's just no reason to put him atop the card right now at all. So at all. But he's a WWE lifer, Hall of Famer, folks. Don't look at me bug-eyed. Hall of Famer. Look at his resume.
Can't say you're wrong. They showed Triple H,
and this is with a respectable Hall of Fame, not a Hall of Fame where anybody gets in. I mean, legit.
I mean, all you have to do is be cool with Triple H now instead of just cool with Vince McMahon. So, we go backstage and see that Triple H met with Jesse Ventura earlier today, the former mayor of Minnesota. Cole put over Ventura as a legendary wrestler, a legendary commentator, and welcomed him home to the WWE. That was nice.
Well, I'm surprised he wasn't on the show officially.
I thought they would have done something to get him on, but he probably was like, nah, I'm good.
They probably didn't want to make any political statements. I don't know.
Conspiracy
theories.
Yeah.
We're on the same page there.
Jackie Redmond is backstage. She interviews the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. Zayn thought that Braun's logic was funny in his promo earlier in the night. Braun thought Sami would lose because he had a comedy show before SummerSlam, but Zayn had a comedy show before their match at Money in the Bank in Toronto, and he still won. Zayn knew Braun was no longer underestimating him, but he knew that because Braun was taking every opportunity to jump him from behind. He finally got to reunite with Jey Uso last week, and Braun was still there to attack him from behind. Saturday would not be about teaching any lessons, though. It would be about beating someone's ass. And they did a one-shot take of Sami backstage, making his way to the ring as he's going to go up against Dominic Mysterio next. But before that, we got a little any thoughts on Sami's promo here?
I thought that was a good comeback to Braun. Everything he said was justified.
Facts. He's spitting facts. I like Sami.
Good job, Sami.
When he's confident in himself, you know.
Good job. You keep doing your comedy. Don't be discouraged. Braun talking shit.
Then we get probably some of y'all favorite part of this episode. Outside, in front of a Dominic Mysterio,
my girl,
Liv Morgan is having a teary-eyed promo and was shown dumping pictures of Dom into a burning dumpster. She said Dom wasn't a man. he was just Rhea Ripley's bitch. Morgan regretted every tear she shed over him. She would complete her revenge tour when she beats Ripley and leaves Dom with whatever is left of her. This was chilling promo by Liv.
Is
But
that...
we gotta
hold on. Is that the babyface Dom picture on the truck?
Yes,
I think it is.
Definitely is.
Oh my!
Can
we update the trucks, please? Oh my goodness, we haven't seen this Dom in years. Put the dirty mustache on it.
We got a response from Rhea Ripley later in the night. Ripley said that Morgan wanted so badly to be the victim in her revenge tour fantasy because that's all it was, a fantasy. It came to an end on Saturday. There was no more hiding or manipulating. Morgan tried to manipulate her family, tried to manipulate our Latino heat. Morgan took 3 months of her career, took her title, and then tried to take her Latino heat. So Ripley would be the one who gets revenge at SummerSlam. Any thoughts on Rhea Ripley's promo or Liv Morgan's segment burning the Dom merchandise and picture?
I thought Liv's promo conveyed the same over-the-top acting that her crying did last week, where it's like, I'm acting here. Like, I don't really feel this way. I'm doing it over the top because it's not a genuine emotion. But you're not supposed to know that as a viewer, but you are supposed to pick up on it sort of too. Like, you're supposed to wink, wink. Like, for those of us who think she's up to something. So I think she's doing a good job with what she's doing here. And this is going to be the final stop on the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. This is going to be the magnus opus. This is going to be beating Rhea and taking everything from her again Saturday. You don't think Rhea's going to win, do you? She's not winning. Hell no. Liv Morgan.
But the way that the promo came across, I didn't think that it was like to wink, like she was over the top acting. It made me feel like they are going to still try to drag this out and not give us the moment of Dom choosing Liv over Rhea at SummerSlam. I think Liv wins because of Dom, but I think they're going to play it off like an accident again.
Very possible. Very possible. Because they love to stretch out storylines.
Yeah.
Tell a longer story, which I think that's the better way to do it, probably. In all honesty.
Sometimes, though, Triple H does blue ball us to death. Like, case in point, the Karrion Kross versus New
exactly. York. You made that point like 10 minutes ago.
But next up, we had Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn going up against Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Dom was posing on the ropes for a bunch early on. Zayn clutched Dom took him down with a dive with a Arabian moonsault on the outside before we went to commercial break. When we come back from commercial break, Dom had control of the matchup, shoving Sami into a ring post. Zayn fought back, though, until Dom hit his awful-looking Three Amigos. I hate it every single time. It's like, dude, do the leg thing towards the opposite direction. When are you going to figure this shit out? Zayn avoided a frog splash from Dom, though, and then hit an exploder into the corner. He looked like he was going for the haluva kick, but Dom was able to block it after a distraction from Carlito and McDonough as they ran out. Dom used the distraction to apply a schoolboy and only got a 2. Zayn knocked Carlito and JD off the apron. He hit Dom with the Blue Thunder Bomb after Dom missed the 619, and this led to JD and Carlito coming in for the DQ loss for Dom here and a win for Sami. But the Judgment Day's beatdown numbers advantage did not last long as Jey Uso came down to make the save for Sami. He wipes out the Judgment Day with a big dive to the outside. It looks like Sami's going to do a dive of his own when Braun Breaker comes from behind, hits him. He looks for the spear, but Zayn's able to catch him with a big boot, which looked really good. He looked for the Aluva kick, but Braun was able to bail out of the ring. Sami turns his back to Braun, and Braun tries to attack him from behind, but Sami once again gets the better of him, clotheslining him to the outside, and Sami Zayn stands tall, which hey, this is not the same as before Money in the Bank. So it means that Braun Breaker might be winning this Intercontinental Championship on Saturday. But Sammy finally gets the better of Braun after several weeks of Braun laying him out here. So good stuff all around. I actually understand the DQ finish here because you don't want Dom to take a loss before he's going to be a very important part in the Rhea and Liv matchup. Sami Zayn didn't need to take a loss either before he faces Braun Breaker and most likely loses the Intercontinental Championship on Saturday. So it made sense here. They had a fine match before the interference from the Judgment Day, and it checked a lot of boxes in continuing the issue between Sammy, Jay, and the Judgment Day, as well as Sammy and Braun heading into SummerSlam.
Yeah, I think the match was okay too. I think Sammy and Dom have had better match before, but I thought the kick that Sammy put on Braun, that looked awesome because Braun is going full speed. He's such a freakish athlete. We're just getting started with Braun, folks. He is going to be so much fun to watch every month. And yeah, he's winning on Saturday. Believe that. He's winning. I'd be shocked if he lost.
I believe it. I'm probably more confident in Braun winning the Intercontinental Championship than I am in Gunther beating Damian or LA Knight beating Logan Paul.
Braun number 1. LA Knight 2. Gunther, I'm the least confident.
Yeah, that's fair. Next, we get our latest Wyatt 6 video or VHS tape. They didn't bother going through the VHS tape ordeal. They just aired it.
Here it is. we got it in our Dropbox this time. You know, we got the link and we downloaded it.
This one focused on Dexter Lumis, and it was a lot like the Nikki Cross one. It was just about making him look creepy. You did hear Uncle Howdy talking about you fell in love, but they left you for dead. They left you to drown, but I helped you. I pulled you out, and now you must not show them any mercy. Basically acknowledging that he is Mercy the Buzzard. So this one was meant to be creepy, but once again, it fell flat for me. What about you?
It's not saying much, but it's better than the Nikki one or the Sister Abigail one, which was just dumb. I'll say that this was better, at least. I think it could have been made better, though. Like, I would have, made reference to, remember Dexter Lumis used to do all these drawings and paintings? I would have, showed a couple of that, have them destroy them or something like that, something creepy. You could have done more with this. But I'll say it was better than the Nikki one, at least.
They should have had him drawing the stuff on his face himself.
Yeah.
That could have been something.
I understand not having him talk because he didn't talk before. So why is he going to talk now? So that's fine. But yeah, you could have done more.
Agreed. Next up, that's when we had the Chad Gable approaching Adam Pearce about the matchup next week, and then the Rhea Ripley promo. Then we had 6-woman tag team action. It was Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark going up against Lyra Valkyria, Kaden Carter, and Katana Chance. Cole once again referenced Bloodsport, saying that Shayna Baszler had a dominant win in Bloodsport. The babyfaces controlled before we went to an early commercial break. The heels controlled after the commercial break. Valkyria tagged in Carter, who fought off Baszler and Stark before the babyfaces triple team Stark for a bit. Valkyria hit a nice looking sit-out powerbomb at one point, but Baszler was able to break up the pinfall. Stark killed Chance with a big knee strike right to the face. She then followed up with the Z360 to get the 1-2-3. This crowd could care less about this matchup. But they did have a little bit more of a reaction to the post-match here as Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and Zoe Stark pick up the victory. And then the music of Damage Control hits, and the returning Io Sky, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai marched out wearing all black like they were the Black Lotus tribe from Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground fans, remember? They attacked Baszler, Deville. I know. Baszler, Deville, and Stark. Damage Control attacked the heels, and Sky took out all three heels on the outside with a big over-the-moon salt. And it appears that Damage Control are the baby faces in this rivalry, at least. I don't know if this was a babyface turn for them, but they got cheered by the fans attacking the heels here, and they got a nice ovation from the crowd, a nice little clapping from the crowd here in St. Paul, Minnesota. When we come back from commercial break, we hear from Kathy Kelly, who interviews Damage Control in the back. Sky and Zayn respond in Japanese. And then Kai says that Damage Control was back to reestablish some order. Kai challenged DeVille to a matchup next week on Raw so she could cut the head off the snake. Hey, they even came off of like fired up baby faces who were back and trying to take control of their division again. So this was the post match was fine. The match was flat as hell.
Did you see what was behind Dakota in that picture?
Yes, the Wyatt.
That's not good, Dakota. You better run. Oh, Sister Abigail's coming for your ass. They're coming for people that betrayed their families. Remember what you did, Dakota. Remember what you did all that long ago. Remember, don't forget.
Not that all that long ago. She betrayed Bayley this year.
Yeah, exactly. Damn. But the match was fine. The reaction you're talking about, that's the normal reaction for like any multi-woman match that's on Raw. It's like the same thing all the time. It's very, very quiet. Nobody pissed off Lyra Valkyria this week. That's good. That's progress. And the ending, the finish was nice. The Z360, she kicked their ass with that one. That always looks good. And Damage Control returning, good for them. If they want to position them as baby faces against this heel group, that's fine by me. So yeah, but Dakota Kai better watch it back. That's not good. You don't want that in your promos. Do not.
You better run. We did hear from the number one contender, the king of the ring general, Gunther. Gunther called Damian Priest a man with no control over his emotions. Gunther exposed him as an emotional wannabe who abused this business as a cure for his childhood trauma. Gunther used to look up to Finn Balor. Balor used to be one of the greatest wrestlers in the world and was currently one half of the tag team champions. Balor was destined for greatness, but he aligned himself with those Judgment Day weirdos and became street trash just like them.
Oh, man, I don't know what it is about the term street trash, but it's so insulting. My goodness.
He comes off like such a jerk, and I love it. Gunther would never forgive Priest for using this business that he loves, to cover up his pathetic existence. After SummerSlam, the world would remember the day Gunther saved this great sport and the World Heavyweight Championship. I love Gunther. I love him talking.
I love another one, just like the Priest one. This was real good too. Cooked again. I mean, every time Gunther says street trash in his voice, it's like it's so demeaning. I love it. Keep going. Use that on everybody, not just Priest. Keep going. I love it. It's got something here.
Speaking of Priest and the Judgment Day, a dismayed Judgment Day in the clubhouse. Balor said that they got in this mess together and they would get out of it together after SummerSlam. Ripley agreed and said they need to focus on SummerSlam. She offered their help to Balor tonight once again. Balor wanted to make things clear. Ripley would take care of business on her own at SummerSlam. Priest would handle his business alone at SummerSlam, and Balor just wanted to do the same tonight unless they thought he wasn't good enough. They assured him that was not the case. Priest didn't trust Gunther, but he knew that Balor, his brother, could handle his business. Balor says that as his brother, he was going to soften up Gunther so Priest could finish him at SummerSlam, and they bumped this. This was the most babyface the entire group of Judgment Day has come across since this whole slow burn Damian Priest babyface turn started.
Well, don't get used to it, because I think Finn Balor set the table up for next Monday. Some kind of Judgment Day segment where it's not going to be so friendly. They're going to be looking at each other like for some answers, because shit's going to fall apart, at least in one direction for Rhea for sure on Saturday. I don't think it's gonna fall apart for Priest, but who knows? Sometimes Happy Priest can annoy like the rest of the Judgment Day if like they're all in shambles. Priest could come off a little like cocky. Like, I did my job. I finally proved I did it all by myself. I beat Gunther one-on-one. And you guys, what did you guys do? You know?
The announcement next week in Baltimore, the 6-man tag with the Wyatt 6 versus Gable and the Creeds, as well as Dakota Kai versus Sonya Deville. And then finally, we had our main event, GUNTHER. First time ever. It's unbelievable. That's the first time ever. Against Finn Balor. Balor hit Gunther with 3 chops, and Gunther basically no-sold them and dropped him with a big-ass chop. And that started Balor's chest turning into fucking raw meat. Balor fought back, but Gunther booted him, leading to our commercial break. We come back from commercial break, and Balor tries to fight back with some chops, but Gunther chops him down again, hit a backdrop for a 2 count. Gunther applied a Boston Crab, which he's won several matches with, but Balor was able to get to the ropes. Gunther tried an avalanche back suplex, but Balor was able to counter into a crossbody. He followed with some strikes and a headlock elbow drop for a 2. Gunther applied a sleeper and kept going for the sleeper at various points of this matchup, but he transitioned the sleeper into a power bomb, but Balor was able to reverse into a DDT. He had a big clothesline, but Gunther didn't even budge. He dropped Balor with a clothesline of his own and only got a 2 count. They exchanged chops and strikes until Balor hits a sling blade and a consecutive double foot stomps, double foot stomp to the back, and then he hit a running shotgun drop kick. He went to the top rope and looked for the coup de grace, but Gunther was able to move out the way. He applied another sleeper, but Balor wouldn't go out, so Gunther hits a powerbomb for a 2 count. He once again applies another sleeper, and this time Balor is not able to fight his way out. He fights out momentarily, but Gunther locks it in even more, wrapping his legs around his stomach, and Balor passes out. Good matchup here in front of this awful crowd. I think the crowd got a mid-show, the whole show, and didn't even get up for finally a good matchup, a genuine good matchup on the show. Gunther reapplies the sleeper after the matchup, which leads to the World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest coming down and attacking Gunther. He beats him up like a wild man all over ringside. He swung wildly at Gunther, tossed him into the announce table. He chucks him around ringside. Gunther tries to escape, but he pulls him back, starts beating on his ass on the announce table. This was a wild, badass, Puerto Rican badass babyface Damian Priest here, looking fired up as we head into SummerSlam. But the show cut off right in between this beatdown. It was like, we ran out of time. We got to cut it off right here. But good stuff with the post-match and good stuff with this matchup. So what did you think?
I agree. I think we both agree. I think the chat agrees that Finn and Gunther are capable of much, much more. But Finn Balor's not in that spot right now in his character. He's just a measly little tag team champion. I think Finn Balor will be heated up in the future. He'll have a singles run, and then maybe we run this back more seriously with like a champion Gunther. We'll see. But yeah, and the end was cool. Priest fired up babyface. Don't be fooled. It's a swerve, folks. He's still going over on Saturday. It's a swerve just to make you think, oh, Gunther's definitely winning now. Psych, not happening Saturday. Priest retains.
I can't wait to see your reaction. When our ring general gets the win, it's gonna be perfect.
It's a great character arc for Priest because he's been wanting to win fair and square and have a big time win on his resume. He hasn't really gotten that for the most part. This would be the biggest one, and it would put a stamp on his reign that at least he got one of these fair and square. Jeez. I'm a little worried though. Why haven't we seen Ludwig Kaiser in a long time here? Is he injured? Shoot injured?
Yeah, he was injured in that matchup with Braun Breaker.
What kind of injury?
It was a rib injury. Remember, he was holding his ribs throughout that whole matchup after Braun hit that flying clothesline off the apron.
Okay, but I'm kind of worried, man. Show up on Saturday.
You never know. Or maybe Gunther re-recruits Giovanni Vinci since they don't have any.
Wait, how has that guy been?
They don't have anything better for him,
That
so
guy's
might as
still
well bring him
employed.
back.
Oh,
Might as well bring him back. Why not? Why not? But yeah, like I said, good matchup, good post match here, and they've done a really good job. I think the matchup that they've heated up the most in the last couple of weeks was definitely Damian Priest and Gunther. They totally got me interested in this matchup on Saturday.
Yeah, I got that feeling for that match. I got that feeling for Drew and Punk, and I got that feeling for Liv Rhea. I'm really into all those feuds.
Yeah, I'm into all those feuds, but I was into all those feuds before last night's show. I don't think last night's show did anything much for Punk and Drew or Liv and Rhea.
Well, I spoke to SP3 about this before we went on air. I was like, I thought WWE just like punted last night, just like chilled. Is like for multiple reasons. One, they're on Sci-Fi instead of USA. The rating is going to drop tremendously because of the Olympics. Although I don't think you think many wrestling fans are watching the Olympics. No, but I also think many wrestling fans are lazy and are like they tune into USA. It's like where's Sci-Fi? They either forgot it's on Sci-Fi or two, they don't want to look for Sci-Fi. They don't even want to bother. I'll just watch something else. And then also like SummerSlam, like most of it is already like built up like from last week. Like you're gonna have people who don't even watch Raw who are gonna be watching SummerSlam on Saturday. So SummerSlam is one of the big four. Most people watch it. They don't really need to be sold on it even, and they were probably already sold on it to begin with, anyways. Before last night.
That's also fair. But thank you guys for watching us live. We appreciate you if you're watching us live, watching us on demand this far into the video. Remember to show your support with a thumbs up. But final call for super chat donations. If you are with us live, we appreciate everyone who sent a super chat donation thus far. And let us know in the chat your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP out of 10. What did you give last night's show? And thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle for me and Romeo for the July 29th, 2024 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1.
Thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm in the middle. Thumbs in the middle for me. Thumbs in the middle. Usually thumbs in the middle is anywhere between a 5.5 and 6.5. And this was on the high end of thumbs in the middle. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. What about you?
4.7. A lot of skippable stuff. And especially like a 3-hour show. Like, come on, man. And I watched that. I watched it without commercials. So, no, I'm harsh, man. Because, we've seen the show. Do better. That was kind of a lazy effort last night. But I know they're thinking. I might not necessarily agree with it, but I know they're thinking why they just chilled last night.
Yeah. Like I felt like SmackDown on Friday was phoned in because it was a tape show, and this felt like a tape show.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
Yeah. On second thought, I'm with Eric Isaacs. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Yeah. Thumbs in the middle. But that brings us to match of the night, and I think it's obvious for me. It's Gunther versus Balor.
Obvious
pick. MVP for the show, Romeo?
I'll go with both Gunther and Priest.
I'm going to go with Gunther. Great promo. Solid matchup with Balor in the main event. So he will be my MVP this week. LVP for the show, I'm going to give it to CM Punk.
He's definitely an honorable mention, yeah.
Who you got?
R-Truth. He just fell off. It's not funny anymore. He's just lost it. Need to gain it back.
Honorable mention for the Miz. Yeah, honorable mention for the Miz.
Yeah.
World Tag Team Champion to host of SummerSlam.
Yeah. Oh, and Xavier Woods.
Got no friends. Got nothing. But yes, that brings us to a close on another edition of Rated Raw Review. I want to thank Romeo as always. Thank all of you as always for joining us today. Romeo, let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when you'll be back on the channel.
Romeo Dom. It's all social media. Check out the YouTube channel as well. Same name. Thank you, SP3. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you for the super chats. And definitely Saturday night, SummerSlam watch party. Maybe we go on earlier to watch Collision if I have someone who wants to join and watch with me too. We'll see. But definitely for the main show.
You can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at TrueHillHeat. Shout out to I Make Beats, who just became a Patreon backer over at patreon.com/TrueHillHeat. $3 a month, exclusive content. The best place to support us when we are not live here. And check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like Collision Discourse from yesterday with myself breaking down AEW Collision and Battle of the Belts 11. And MXN's debut in AEW. Check out the flagship podcast, True Hill Heat 287, with myself and True Draw Josh talking about last week in pro wrestling. And join us live here tomorrow, 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be myself and special guest Ella J breaking down the card for SummerSlam 2024 this Saturday, as only we can. Join us for that. We'll have a good time with Ella J back on the channel after a year absence. Gonna be fun talking with her. But for
Look
Romeo,
how cool that bloodline is. Look how cool they are in their car. They're so cool. Look at them.
For Romeo, it is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 28, Referees Instructions. We are signing off until next time.